We were in dire need of a female Baryonyx, but I didn't expect the hunt for one to turn into such an adventure, delving back over inside the swamp whilst needing to find our way back on foot. Things started to go better than expected, however quickly took a drastic turn that forced me into facing off against many creatures from the swampy depths. However, now that you've liked and subscribed, let's begin this episode of ARK Ragnarok. Arriving back at my hatchery to harvest some eggs, I spotted a new member of the tribe as a baby Moschops had hatched and was now standing with their parents. After an attempt to imprint on them, the greedy bugger wanted some regular kibble, so I left them to grow on their own, getting to work on my main task for the day, hunting for the female Baryonyx. On the way out, I spotted a Doedicurus chilling on the cliff edge, which turned out to be level 145, so I made a mental note of this and will eventually come back for this at a later point with some trank darts. Another long flight later though, and I arrived once again at the swamp with the hopes of finding my prize, but the first one I spotted was the level 95 male from before. Searching around some more, I spotted another female Dimorphodon, so I did the same as before, knocking it out and taming her up. But this will be the only one for now, as I was not slow flying home again like we did in the previous episode. I placed her on my shoulder and carried on the hunt, finding more males but taking care of them, hoping that any females may surface. But what I did spy instead was my first ever griffin. An incredible creature, but for now, this was not what I needed, so back out I went, searching low and high and around every tree that I could, spying nothing. That was until one stuck out to me in the distance, but not only was it a she, but she was level 135, so I got to work placing down my trap. However, once I was ready and it was complete, I had lost her. I had to fly over the swamp again, searching high and low for what I had lost. Luckily, I did eventually find her again though, but with my shocking ramp up, I was surprised when it worked flawlessly and first time, trapping my Barry and allowing me to fire my tranks at her, missing plenty as she ran around, moving in ways that was completely throwing off my aim. Eventually, she did fall down though, sleeping as I headed out in the hopes of finding some raw prime fish meat, but not knowing what animals drop this, I could only find standard fish meat. No matter how much I hunted and searched for this, nothing was found whilst fighting through capros and sarcos until suddenly, another Barry caught my eye. Another female, so I got to work crafting up and building yet another trap and repeating the same process. Once she was down, I now had the two female Baryonyx awaiting food, and providing I could get them both home, I was now giving my two egg machines the raw fish meat and waiting until eventually, both Baxi and soon after Bella were tamed up. Just before heading back however, there was one more Barry that I spotted. Another level 15, but female again, and getting her would help me increase my egg yield greatly. So once again I fired my tranks, this time without trapping until she was quickly down, but even sooner tamed up as Beatrice now joined the party. Now with 3 Baryonyx, I knew that I had to make it somehow, with no cryopods and no carrying, and decided that it was better to set off sooner than later. Everything was attacking, from Sarcosuchus to other Baryonyx and anything else that lurked inside the swamp. All it wanted to do was be rid of us, so chomping through them all, we were making it whilst also getting stuck, eventually escaping and making it to the slightly more pleasant mainland. With more fighting of smaller dinos, we had reached the beach just before my base, but as we started to climb the hill, Carnos and Raptors began to attack. Struggling to dodge any of them, we had to stand and fight until after all of this time, I had somehow made it back with my 3 females, excited to start making kibble to tame higher level ones. I entered the hatchery and gathered up lots of eggs before setting up my Barrys ready to start laying, before finally checking up on my jerky and fertilizer, thinking about the hatchery roof, but eventually calling it a successful day. But if you'd like to see more of me inside of ARK, be sure to catch up on the previous episodes or my live streams, and if you'd like your own ARK server, click on my link in the description to Natidos and host your own from just $8.20 per month. But now that you've subscribed and liked the video, enjoy the rest of my content until we catch you in the next one.